Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. At Shaman-ra, also known as Dreamtree. How are you on this Christmas Eve? Yeah, it's Christmas Eve, and there's evidence of it all around here. Check out my scenery here. This is my Christmas Eve. Quite beautiful. It's not a white Christmas, but it is a red dirt Christmas, complete with green leaves. Hey, check it out. It's a deciduous bush tree that has green leaves. How about them apples? I'm so glad to be in a place that doesn't have snow. But I don't know. I wanted to talk something about the spirit of the holidays and giving people a chance and when it's okay to do that, and when maybe it's not. This has to do with measuring people up. I was at the library, getting some of my work done, working on the new album, and I wanted to take a break from it. So I started packing up as this guy stumbles up towards me to throw a huge collection of beer cans away. And he was clearly intoxicated. And he lays down on the bench and starts reading this book that somebody left behind. And he thought it was my book, so he asked me if it was okay if he read my book. And I'm like, it's not mine, dude. Read away. And I'm talking to him. He's talking to me. And I already had plans of what I was going to do. I know where to get the free meals and all that stuff. But this guy just kept, talking as if, he wanted to hang out and do things. He invited me for pizza and stuff, but I'm thinking it's like, well, you're sloshed. I don't really like hanging out with people who are publicly drunk because, there's a tendency for bad things to happen involving law enforcement and that kind of thing. So, I try to politely, blow the guy off and tell him, well, I already had plans. This is what I'm going to go do. And but he kept being, it's almost like he wouldn't hear me, like he ignored those things and kept insisting that if I don't go do what he wants to do, then he's going to follow me and do what I want to do. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to go up to the church to get, to check on their free meal. And you're going to follow me and do that, and that's cool, I guess. And I go to pick up my backpack, and he rushes towards me, and he's like, oh, no, no, I'll carry that for you. And that's kind of a weird thing to offer someone to carry their backpack for them. I don't need help carrying the backpack. I'm in shape because I do it. And that's how I stay in shape. Um, so that threw me off a little bit. And then we got by this pizza place, and he's really insistent that we go there. And you just wouldn't listen to me. I kept telling him, this is what I'm doing. This is what I intend to do. But he insisted on, following me around while I did it. So I did what I did, and he kept following me, and we kept engaging in conversation. And, he wanted to get a whole bunch of beer, go back to his camp, and just sit around and listen to the radio, and drink beer at his camp. And, that's a nice offer, but the person has not thought it through. The place where he's camped is really close to where the public can easily see as they drive by. If you're playing music from a radio, that's the public being able to hear what you're doing. And if you're drinking in that situation in public where a police vehicle could drive by and be like, oh, wait, here's a couple of guys drinking and they're blatantly, obviously doing so because we can see you down there. We can hear you down there. I don't know. It just seemed to me this guy wasn't thinking too much. And by, possibly getting involved with him might be an endangerment towards myself. And the last thing I want to have to do is deal with some, violent trigger happy police officers on Christmas Eve. So, I had to come up with a way to make sure we departed ways because I didn't want to get involved with that kind of thing. So I had to fib to the man and tell him that I was having to walk all the way to the other side of town to meet some people. And yeah, so here I am. I didn't really like having to do that, but when you're dealing with a person who simply won't listen to you, and you keep telling them that, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and I prefer doing all of this alone, kind of a thing, and they just disregard everything that you say and are overly nice. That whole backpack thing was just like being way too nice, and I don't know, it just kind of creeped me out actually. So I made an executive decision and decided to remove myself from the situation. And I tend to be doing that a lot more lately. I didn't do that at first on this journey. I'd befriend everyone I met, but that came with some consequences. And once you've learned the lesson once, you don't need to subject yourself to the lesson plan again. You know. So yeah, be helpful towards people, but there's a border line. If you helping people causes them to start doing some things that hey, we shouldn't be doing this kind of a thing, then there's nothing wrong with backing out of it in some way, even if you got to fib a bit about where you're going. So I hope everyone has a happy holiday. I hope I'm able to get this information online without being bothered by too many people, because that seems to be happening a lot lately. Um, so yeah, Merry Christmas, and hopefully I'll be hearing from some of you soon. Peace.